Listening to us. Good afternoon, Plymouth. Good afternoon on a Friday, the 30th. It's end of the month, I'm telling you. Already the 30th. It's amazing and rolling. Yes, good afternoon for all following us on P-Town Radio. I'm welcoming you. So I'm Jabo Butera, and this afternoon I have my guys in the studio with us. We're gonna be cracking on in a minute. Let's checking on our technology if everything is on and live. For those who are listening or following us, please give us a thumbs up. If we're on Facebook, Steve, you want to check your Facebook if it's on? Yes. And then we give just 2 minutes. Give us a 2 minutes. We'll be able to putting our technology up and running. Everything is falling. Just a second, we'll be up and running. Give us a minute. And if you are listening to us, if you're just joining in, and if it's working, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see. You can always drop us a message saying it's working, and we'll be able to see it here. We're on P-Town Radio. There you go. Just a second. 2 ticks. And seeing everything is working perfectly. Have you managed to see? You live? Brilliant. Can you put the volume up and see if it's all up and working? And we still have some camera challenge being sorted. In the meantime, just 2 ticks and each sort this one out. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Anyone listening to us, anyone following on our Facebook page, please give a message and see if it all goes well to let us know. And we'll crack on with you all good? Yes. Brilliant. Well, welcome to the show.
Mic is up.
All the mics are up, and if you take a volume.
Your mic is not on. Bottom. The light.
There you go. My mic is on. My mic was not on. The mic is back on now. See, we have to check all the technology all up and we're raking. So let's crack on, gentlemen. Say good afternoon. Jabo Butera in the house, and the full house today. Today with me is, again, my guy, my G. Just the phone is big. When I go up in mix.
Shut off the mics.
Yeah. Brilliant. We'll go up. The volumes are up. Yeah. Brilliant. See, the engineer is in the house. Tendai is back.
Yes. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, from stealing from the river now.
Yeah, listen, I was listening to you guys during my holiday time. So I'm happy to be back. Thank you for having me. Hope your listeners are tuned in, because we've got 25 minutes of
firing up. Yes. In the house as well, we have Steve J. Hey, Steve.
Hello, guys.
Your microphone is right on your face. Do you want to slide it somewhere so we can see you? If you go, down, keep going down.
I'm not people from see my face.
Yeah, you're gonna keep going down so we can see you.
Yes.
And so the camera people, you're hiding your face.
Yeah. What can I say?
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. Introduce yourself.
Oh, hello. I'm Stephen. I'm an author, a pharmacist by training, but an entrepreneur and a strategist by passion.
And most of it, someone who loves giving.
Yes, I'm a giver. That's true.
You are a giver.
Yes, I'm a giver.
Fantastic. Thank you for joining my guys. So quickly, let's do the disclaimer. The views and points what we're presenting here are strictly of the presenter and the host and the guest on this show, and are not the view representing P-Town Radio as a radio station. So that's our main disclaimer. And today we're not talking anything finances. So normally we disclaim as well, we're not financial advisors. We are three gentlemen sharing our experience, lived experience. Not something you went to school and study. You walk the walk and you got a t-shirt. And here today we're saying we're going to share. And the topic we are breaking today is to talk about collaboration. All about collaboration. And the title is The Cost of Collaboration. Yes. So here we go. Just close that. It should be there. The cost of collaboration. Maybe let me start, because collaboration is not individual. It's not one person. So you have to be at least two people. So it's a dance of two people, or three, or four. But it's not a dance of one person. I think we agree on that one.
Yes.
There cannot be unique, one-way collaboration, one person or one company collaboration. But now we're talking about the cost of it or the price of it. That working with someone else or agreeing to collaborate.
Yes.
So there's a labor in there, and then there's you are laboring together.
Yes.
Is that collaborate? I
Yes.
think
Yes.
you laboring together.
Yes.
But what's the price for it? I'll come to you, Steve. What do you understand by
Collaboration, there's a price. There's a big price because one, you have to set aside your ego. You have to set aside your fear, your insecurity. Because many times when you collaborate, you are admitting to yourself that you are incapable of doing it alone. You're admitting to yourself.
Easy. Repeat that.
Yeah, no.
Which is really good. You admit to
That-
yourself
yes.
you are incapable of doing it on your own.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what you call it. So it's an admission to yourself that I can't do this alone. And I like to give an example. You know me, I'm a music man.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
you know
I
that.
I know.
I'm a music
Yes.
man. Yes.
I know.
And I'll give an example of two great people, English guys who collaborated. Elton John, one of my favorite musicians. Yeah, he is one of the top musicians in the world. He's been singing for almost 60 years. He has had a #1 single in the UK and sometimes in the world every year for the past 60 years.
Yes.
Big man. He realized that actually he's growing old. So you have to admit to himself that, look, man, I'm growing old. I can't get people to listen to my music anymore. All the poor listen to my music, they're all dying, or they all have walking sticks and Zimmer frames. So now to begin to make my music relevant to the younger generation. So he went on a collaboration with Dua Lipa. Now Dua Lipa is very young, at his 20s. She's one of the top rising stars in pop music. So Elton John had to admit to himself that he's incapable of now reaching the young generation. So he had to put away his ego because he was much, much bigger than Dua Lipa. If you check on Spotify, he has about 74 million followers. Huge guy. But to reach the younger generation, he had to admit to himself that he doesn't have the tools, doesn't have the sound, doesn't have the style, doesn't have all that it takes to reach the younger generation. So what's the easiest way to do? He made himself humble and collaborated with Dua Lipa. And the song that they sang together, Cold Hearts, went straight to #1. And my daughter, who is 18 years old, knows about Elton John just because of the song that he sang with Dua Lipa.
Yes. Now I can understand where Steve is coming from. Hello, people. I know how you do it. The man is back. Yes. And we're talking about collaboration.
Yes.
I always like to bring it back. The collaboration we're talking about is from an entrepreneur perspective, right?
Yes,
so we're talking from a business perspective.
Yes.
Because collaboration can be in many things.
Yes.
I also call my marriage collaboration. I'm collaborating with my wife.
You're laboring together.
Yes.
But I was delivering.
Yes. So from that perspective, we are talking here from an entrepreneur perspective, collaboration, the cost of it. From as layman like myself, the cost of collaboration. So we are talking about, when we say the cost, I'm just putting you back to you, because you're the one who come up with the actually Steve, of the very good topic, the cost of collaboration. I need the more elaboration of exactly what are we saying the cost? Are we talking about the cost is the cost in itself the financial cost, sacrifice cost? When we say cost in this context, what are we saying, so that our listeners can follow our conversation correctly?
So I think that's where we're starting. First of all, what do you understand by collaboration? And I think we agree on together, which is you have to be more than one person. And then that's Steve dropped in that one. It's you have to drop your ego and agree that on your own you cannot do it.
Yes.
That's why you went across to looking for that laboring together. Because your labor on your own is not enough for you to go to the next stage. You need the labor of the other person together.
That's correct.
So that's a collaboration, and that's what we were talking about. And you are now asking that question, and we said all of us, what's the cost? And I think there can be the financial cost. And again, that's when most of the time people think when they hear cost, they hear money.
Yes.
There is other elements which are very crucial. valued more than money. Time. That's one. Ego. You mentioned personality. And also that's what we wanted to talk about today.
Yeah.
What's the cost
What's the
of
cost?
collaboration? Are we aware of it?
Mhm.
Because we are free over here of us. Can we call, is this a collaboration? Because we put our time together
Mhm.
to come and have this chat.
Mhm.
We are sacrificing something else.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a cost.
That's of course.
Do we acknowledge it's a cost, or are we seeing because there's no financial loss or financial gain, there's no collaboration? That's what we want to talk about. What do you think?
Yes, no, I agree. I mean, I think from a collaboration perspective, from an entrepreneurship, it is very, very, very important to realize you cannot do it all. So if you start to admit, like what Steve has just said, you have to admit you can't do it all. I mean, collaboration is being done anyway. Some of it is very informal.
Mm.
You know, as a business entrepreneur, you're not a web designer. So what do? You collaborate with the web designer to produce a product, even though the collaboration is not a long-term collaboration, but you have collaborated with someone to achieve. Now we're talking about collaboration in terms of if I have, let's say, like we are today here, we met here as 3 guys to collaborate to produce a show. In terms of us coming together, agreeing. I know on time, Steve is coming on board now. He's putting more stamp on time because me and Jab were failing to put the stamp on time.
We are wealthy in terms of time. We got plenty of time.
Yeah. So, but we have agreed and collaborated to produce a show. I can do the show on my own, but because of the numbers we need for the listeners, the reach we want to reach, because I'm bringing 5,000 people maybe to the show. Steve is bringing 10,000. It's big money as is. Jab will kind of bring the whole Plymouth to the table. And by the end of the day, we are all having more listeners in one go. Whereas I could do it on my own and have 2 people listening. Am I reaching the potential? Or am I realizing actually for me to reach the potential, I need Jabu, I need Steve, or I need someone else? That's how I see collaboration in terms of entrepreneurship when it comes to business.
Yes.
There's certain things that you cannot, we can talk about the community interest stuff we do in this city. We are all doing different things.
Yeah.
Peter on radio doing the media, GBI doing the business, we've got other people who are doing, and Steve J is coming with consultants coming in there. You know, how do we merge these kind of things to produce and to I think people sometimes we feel like when we collaborate, we're actually losing.
See, that's the point.
That's it.
Are we losing when collaborating?
Yeah, I think our mentality is default to think you lose when you collaborate. Why should I collaborate with someone? Why should I? If that question comes in and you can't answer it yourself first, then you don't ask anyone else, because you have to be able to answer it. Why do you think you need the support from other people? I think that's where we should start from.
If I point that back, that question, saying the mentality people think collaboration is losing, you're losing. Do you agree with it, or should people see it differently?
Partially. Okay, so there's always a loss to you, like we said about time, sometimes even money, your ego. So there's a loss in that way, but the gain is much, much more. And actually time, because it takes time to build a relationship, isn't it? I've known Tendai and I have been passing each other for how many years now?
Yeah, for a while.
A long time. It took time, years, for Tendai and I to become actual friends and collaborate on the show. You know, so collaboration takes time, and many people are not willing to put in the time needed. It also takes money, and I know we said there's a cost, but you have to drive here.
There's a cost.
Yeah, there's a cost. You know, so getting here, there's also a cost to the money in monetary terms. You know, and also like I said, the ego terms. So there's a cost to it. But if we have a long-term goal, a long-term foresight, see, that's where we go wrong. We have a short, we're looking at things short-term.
That's correct.
Yeah. If we're taking things long-term, sometimes 4, 5, 6 years before that actually begins to bear fruits.
Yeah.
Then we begin to look at, begins to bear fruits. But sometimes you need to put away the short-term gain.
So if I hear you well, you're saying there is a loss.
Yes.
But also the gain is bigger.
Yes.
The factor which is missing there is the time.
Yes.
And if I come back to Tendai, you're saying the culture or the mentality is we're thinking there's a loss.
Yeah.
Is it because our mentality is thinking short term?
Yes.
instead of long term.
That's correct. I mean, Steve hit the nail on the head there, because if you right now start to think of, I want to do this business, but your resources are not as much.
Yes.
People are thinking to lift a call and say, Tendai, I was thinking to do this, because they were thinking, as soon as I tell Tendai, my idea is gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
By having that just mind, you're already thinking, I'm not going to tell anyone now. Then your project will take 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Whereas maybe if you have reached out to Tendai or to Jabu or whoever, I'm just using my name as an example, and say, I'm planning to do this, but I don't have A, B, C, D. Some people might have ideas with no money. Some people might have money with no ideas. Yeah. So what do? You collaborate. Elon Musk is a very good example.
Wow.
Elon Musk has put his hands in every pot.
Yeah.
But if you think of it properly, only because he had the money to invest. Now Elon Musk has got, I don't know, 50 streams of income. And I was reading somewhere that is actually saying his money is not enough. I'm like, oh, what does he mean? Do you know what I mean? So you might have the money, no ideas. Then you hire people who have ideas, or come collaborate with people who've got ideas, 60, 40%, because you don't have anything to put or whatever. Collaboration is not just 50-50. Collaboration can be 10% of something, of someone. So let's say that's what they call investment. Is investors. Investors are not part of the business. They inject the money, you run it, but you are collaborating with investors because they are part of it.
Yeah.
So I think for the growth of the entrepreneurship, that's why we need to think of that mess. Not to think of these businesses that takes 7 years to grow, because you just don't want to ask or collaborate with others or get others involved into the project.
Before you give the what people need to do, I want to just twist again. I'll come back to that question we just talked about. So the example you give about idea. People are fearing, saying, if I talk to Tendai, I give my idea, I'll lose it. And you said there is a loss, so there is a gain. The gain is bigger than the loss.
That's right.
So if you don't accept to lose, you're not going to gain.
Which you should in business.
So what do you
lose?
So what you are saying, which is that saying, now we come to the giving the solution. Now I think we agree all three, saying collaboration is not one person.
Yeah.
Secondly, collaboration, there is a loss and the gain is bigger than the loss, and it's a factor of time to it happen. And the thirdly is about accepting to lose before you can think to gain, to keep the eye on the. And then you're saying you're going to give about the answers, saying what people should do. So in the case of someone who's got this idea and they're afraid of coming saying, I'm not going to share because I'm going to lose the idea.
Yeah.
What would you tell them?
They should not think like that. If you have an idea and don't have resources, bring your idea to people who have resources. But you don't just come and say, here's my idea. What are you going to do about it? Go and say, I have an idea and I'm looking for an investor. I'm looking for someone to collaborate with. Say it early.
Yes.
Don't do this African way of black people thinking that when now business is now booming, then you say, 80%. Then the fight.
It was my idea.
It was my idea. Then the fight starts. Then the business you're supposed to be growing goes up. So let's have that mentality of business where you are saying, I have an idea. I don't have time. I don't have resources. Go to people who have resources and time with your idea. They will run with it, but before they run with it, agree in terms properly. What exactly are you expecting them to come in and do, and for how much into your idea? Because sometimes, yes, the people with the idea and the money can go 50-50. If they realize your idea needs big money, I cannot just do big money for 40%.
Yeah.
We have to go halves.
Yeah.
That needs to be agreed.
Yeah.
But don't let the idea die because you're failing to reach out to the people.
Yes.
Bring the idea, be on the
agree.
table,
Yeah.
have a conversation with people and say, listen, I have an idea. I've done the maths. Don't just come with ideas all from the air that you're asking me questions now of the idea. No, because my investment is not about understanding the idea. It's about giving you money to run the idea.
Yes.
So don't come to me with also half information.
Yeah.
Be methodological. Bring your ideas.
Yes.
Bring the numbers. Bring the figures. Bring the returns in a year or 2 years, 3 years. If you don't know how to do your financial projection, you know where to go.
Yes.
TBI is there for you. If you
Oh,
they help
wow.
you with that.
Listen, you know what you've just put there. This is the price of it is gold.
Mm,
You've just given someone a massive advice
mm,
or hint or direction, and you're not saying it this because you read it somewhere in the book. You've walked the walk.
Mhm.
You know, you before you're talking about this before many years ago, you were thinking similar. You know, I'm not going to give you my idea. You're going to steal
Yeah.
it. But with the time you've been in business and what you've learned, you're sharing from your own experience.
Correct.
Guys, if you're listening, if you're watching us, what advice will you be giving to people? This is what we do at P-Town Radio.
Yes, absolutely.
This is the purpose of P-Town Radio. So drop us a chat in our chat book. We have Facebook is All Day We're Live. Drop a chat. And if you have an idea, put it there. And we'll share with it with others. Again, we're not claiming saying the three of us, we know everything.
No.
No. We're still learning. I'm still a baby. I'm still learning. I'm excited of learning every day.
Mm.
Sitting with you guys here, it's really amazing. So only looking to say it might be a loss, like 1 hour together. I might say I put my time, I put my fuel to come here, we're having a coffee, blah blah blah. And you might say, oh, those are what I'm losing. But spending the time with you guys and hearing here, it's shaping my own way of thinking.
100%.
So that is the benefit of collaboration. Let me be more poking.
Yeah.
So we serving
Mm.
here in Plymouth.
Mhm.
We are particularly interested in the community from people and individual from the Black community because that's where we come from. That's our
Mhm.
walk over there, and that's who we inspire because I want to see my children growing with that aspiration. And we just mentioned it about this landscape of Plymouth.
Yeah.
How do you see collaboration between Black people, especially in business here in Plymouth, Steve?
I'm very if I'm honest, I'm very disappointed.
Mhm.
Because
I agree.
I don't think we are collaborating enough. I think we need a lot of work.
Mm.
But I think to John on Tana's points, and I'll link the two together. And I think the issue is one word,
Right.
trust.
Okay.
Without trust, there can be no collaboration. And actually, I divide collaboration into two. Yeah, you have what you call transactional collaboration
Mhm.
and relational collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
Transactional collaboration is when we talk about the guy with the website. Okay, you sign a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to give you this. You're going to give me this.
Mhm.
Legal contracts.
Mhm.
Pay me at the end. That's
Mhm.
transactional.
That's
Mhm.
correct.
Relational is what we have, maybe three of us. Okay, to do on this radio or for us to have a collaboration between Jabulani and Peter Price. There is no contracts. Yeah, but I trust you, Jabo, and you trust me.
Mm.
Or when I'm doing a work with you, Tanda, there's a trust there, a trust elements.
Mhm.
So we don't sign any contracts.
That's
Mm.
correct.
Okay, or in case we have to sign contracts just for legal purposes, but what is driving the collaboration is
Mm.
trust.
Mm.
So before you collaborate, we need to look at which one are you doing for. Are you going for the transactional collaboration? Or are you going for the relational collaboration? They sometimes may what's the word I'm looking for? Interlink.
Mm.
Okay, the fact that you're going for relation doesn't mean you have to sign contracts. You still have to sign a contract,
Mm.
but the driving force is trust.
that
And I
trust.
think that is where we are as Black people. We are missing because of what Tenda was saying about people not taking short term and all that stuff, and we don't trust ourselves. We always want to get ahead. We want to compete.
Mm.
Ah, competition.
Yes,
comes in.
yes.
So no
That
trust, checking for competition, want to be ahead.
Yes.
Tendai.
Yes, I think you ask what Steve just said. They agree on every point. Is very correct. Just to add to that, because there's no point of me repeating what you just said,
Yeah.
because I agree with it.
Mhm.
It's just in the Plymouth, Plymouth is still very young in terms of
Mm.
diverse
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Mm.
So they are the ones that are perceived to be doing well,
Mm.
and there's no many of those that are perceived to be doing well. There's no many.
Mm.
So as a community, we are still lacking the trust,
Mm.
because those who are perceived to be doing well, they only probably be perceived in the last 2 years.
Mm.
So they're also still in a growth
Mm.
of their own.
Yeah.
So giving them more ideas or more collaboration may sound
You just fuel
you're
their success.
you're adding to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So with that in mind, people will not collaborate because they also want to be recognized
Yes.
in the 5 years to come that they are also doing well. So we have a long way.
Yeah.
Going back to trust, I think a trust is a colonial thing.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we just our trust. Even I don't think we even trust our own parents
Yes.
as Black people. And I think it's a colonial thing. I think
I love that. And it's
colonial
really
part
exciting.
is put a big thing in our head
Yes.
that we can't shift.
Yes. Yes.
Can I pause you there?
Yeah.
Because we've run out of time.
Oh my days.
And it's so
It's
exciting.
about to start.
We're about to start. Next week we're back here.
Yes.
Next Friday we're back here.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about this thing of trust
Yes.
Yes.
in the Black community,
Yes.
in Plymouth community.
Yes.
Not only talking about it as the topic, but what is the cure or what is the solution? What is what we're
That's the way
giving
forward,
as way forward out of it? So if we can wind down,
Yeah.
that's going to be our topic next Friday for those listening, as we're going to be back here on Friday,
Yes.
1 to 2. Please don't miss next week, but this week we started a bit late. We're going to do 12:30 to 1:30, and I know we have other program coming on, but that's why we're stopping for today. Tune in for next week. But before we go, I'm gonna come to you, Steve. Give an example of collaboration, because I say we're giving always a solution. You're talking about the collaboration of the two organizations here. Tell us about this.
Okay. So we decided to, because like we said before, people drink coffee.
Yes.
My morning routine, wake up in the morning, have my little blankets. Yeah, I shouldn't say this, but yeah, have my little blankets on the sofa, have my cup of Jabulani in my hand and my book on my left.
Yes.
So we came up with the idea that, okay, a good idea is to have a collaboration between a book, a cup of coffee,
Yes.
coffee. There is no transaction, there is no thing signed,
Yes.
but we trust ourselves. That
Yes.
So every time we buy a Jabulani coffee at the Plus Jabulani, you get £5 off pay the price.
Yes.
We haven't signed the contracts,
Yes.
but that's a collaboration.
It is a collaboration.
So the offer which is here through this collaboration,
Yes.
whenever you buy Pride the Pass coffee, a book, you get 50% discount.
Yes.
And if you buy both of them together, you get a £50 discount on each. That makes you 100%. You might end up just, if you buy the coffee, you get a book. If you buy a book, you get a coffee.
Yes. Yes. Win-win.
Win-win.
A win-win.
You go home with two things.
Two things.
Guys, we are on the plot.
Yes.
Union Street, 82 to 84. Open 12 to 6, Tuesday to Saturday. And tomorrow, Saturday, we're going to be at the box with the bazaar. Come along.
Yes.
You'll find Pay the Price there.
Yes.
Come along, you'll find Jabulani there. And let's make this collaboration happening in Plymouth.
100%.
Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Just last word before you go. I go with you, Tendai. What's your wisdom word you're leaving with people?
Be collaborative.
Be collaborative.
Trust.
Trust. And my last one, as usual, it's not too late. It's getting late.
Getting it.
Let's get on with it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening, and